also a perfect term for what Pascal looks like on that picture.
Oh, God.
Pascal looks extremely Negrolicious on that photo. You don't think so? And I'm debating whether or not we should open up the phone line so people can call in and say happy birthday.
I'm debating too. I'm in if you're in.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
This Negrolicious Tuesday. Let's kick it off.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Ready, Slicker. You?
Damn. Good evening, everyone. I am your host, Jason Miles, and welcome to the special birthday edition of This is Revolution Podcast. It is the birthday of our very own Pascal Robert, and here to lead, the birthday events. And this is the first time I get to actually look at the comments as I'm reading this, because I usually have a script up, and they're really hilarious, by the way. That horoscope one about Pascal is hilarious. Whoever left that. But who's going to be leading this show, producing this show, put this whole thing together. Please welcome the headless, faceless voice of reason, M. Toussaint.
Hello. Who's I?
And should we bring in the birthday boy now?
About snacks.
What is wrong with you?
Just really excited.
Oh, don't get too excited that you fart.
Oh.
I don't know how quick you are on the mute button. Unlike me. Shirley says my screen is fuzzy. Deal with it, Shirley.
Shirley's here.
Screen looks fine to me. Look, let's bring in the birthday boy. Let's bring in the birthday boy. He is 25 for the third time. Please welcome the man of the Mau Mau Hour, my co-host, my homie, my dog. He is the Joe Perry to my Steven Tyler. He's the DMC to my Run. He is the Fife to my Q-Tip. And he's that taller, light-skinned dude with the dreads and half fade in De La Soul to my dark-skinned dude with the glasses and De La Soul.
True Goy and Pasta News.
Yeah, sure. All right. Oh, as another, we have to introduce this next person too silently. I want to say, he said, the kid to my play. He is, MT, ready to bring him in? Pascal Robert.
Yay.
Peace and greetings to the audience. Peace and greetings to the chat. Peace and greetings, Jason Miles and M2 Son. My birthday was actually yesterday on the 19th, but we scheduled this today. I did not plan this. This was completely planned by M2 Son and Jason, particularly M2 Son. I have no idea what to expect.
It's gonna be awesome.
A little bit of hazy. Are you 55? Nope. You're close, Sean Moon.
I'm a little concerned, but
why?
I don't know. I'm a very, I'm.
You don't like surprises.
I don't like surprises, and I know there's going to be a lot of them. But I want to thank. Actually, I want to thank my team and the crew of This Is Revolution for what's coming up on actually 3 years of production of This Is Revolution. Jason and I started this, the two of us, and I believe it was December of 2020. We did our first episode, and we hit it off right away with Torrey Reed and Cedric Johnson, who put us together. Mm-hmm. And I had been thinking about doing a podcast for a long time. And believe it or not, I had heard Jason's podcast before I even came on. The first time I heard his podcast was the episode he did with Cedric Johnson. And I was like, wow, this guy's really good. I really like his stuff. But, and it was kind of small. It wasn't really big, but I appreciated the style and the tone. And Jason really has that really good kind of radio voice. I was like, yo, but this guy's really, really. It was just I just listened to the audio. I didn't even at that stage. I don't think Jason
was back then.
Yeah. Jason wasn't really interested in video that much, and so the first episode we did, for most people who don't remember, was an episode where we talked about who speaks for Black America, where we questioned the role of Charlemagne the God as a media personality, and a lot of people liked that. And we hit it off, and then Jason was like, yo, we're gonna do live streams. It's okay, fine. And at first I was like, okay, we'll do like one live stream a week and it'll be cool. And then literally within like 2 weeks of like the second episode, Jason's like, yo, we're gonna do this 3 times a week. I was like, what?
Yeah. In the morning, yeah. It was really had a Saturday morning, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, 3 times a week? I was like, yo, man, why don't we just do this once? He was like, no, man, we're going to do this 3 times a week.
3 times a week.
I was like, I remember the first time we did 3 shows a week, I was so insanely tired. I had developed a whole new respect for online regardless of the content, YouTubers, podcasters who did multiple shows, because I really learned at that point, this is actually work. Producing this stuff and doing this stuff. I mean, I know that now we've been doing this for 3 years, and it's a lot more difficult than people really believe. And Jason and I just kind of took it and ran with it, and we've been growing ever since and expanding. And eventually, Gene and Kuba kind of came on. Got connected with Doug Lane, who was at that point at Zero Books, who started to air our stuff, and that really kind of took us to our first launch. And then a couple of episodes I did on Majority Report after the Haitian president assassination really took us to a long, long route, and we started to get a lot of recognition in left media pretty early on, and people liked our content. And I gotta say, I mean, I for those of you, and there are some people who are fans of the show who knew me mostly from my writing at Black Agenda Report, and I have to say that for in the 10 years I was writing a Black Agenda Report, I felt a lot of fulfillment doing that. But I gotta say, the most fulfillment that I've gotten in terms of anything doing with the left I've had, besides my, even including my writing, was doing the show with Jason and the rest of the crew, Gene, Kuba, M2 Son, even Marcus from the Left Flank Vets, we're doing our Saturday show, because I look forward to doing this. It really gives me a way to vent, my ideas, my thoughts, my worldview, and I think that we do something special here. And I mean, not to sound arrogant, I think we have the best content in the left media on the internet. Frankly, I don't mean to hog up this thing that M2 Sun put together, but I just want
you're correct in that assumption, Pascal. We do have the best.
Let people know, as much as I may seem antisocial, how much I appreciate people even taking the time to put this together for my birthday. I'm not a shy person. I'll be lying to say I'm shy, but I'm kind of a private person, and sometimes I'm surprised that people value the stuff that I put out there. I'm more humble than anything else. I'm like, wow, people like it that much. So I really am appreciative of the amount of support people have for the work we put out with Jason and the work people have with my writing, as well as the Mile Mile Hour. I love the dedicated fans of the Mile Mile Hour. I love doing the Mile Mile Hour. And special shout out to consistent fan of the work. I got to give her a shout out. She'd be bad if I didn't. Shirley, I see you in the audience. You get a special shout out. Being a dedicated fan. And that's all I got to say.
Well, let's bring in this gentleman. We did, I don't know how long we did a show with him in the morning on his Twitch channel. He's part of our Saturday crew. He learned real quick that on TIR you will have fights with Jason, and you will have way too much reading to do 2 hours before the show starts. You guys have asked for him repeatedly. Our silence has created
he froze. He's so excited he froze.
M2 Sun's gonna jump in now because Jason froze for a second. But
that's how excited he was to bring on this next gentleman. No, he's not too Falcon.
I know. Got him. Deep State Cuba got.
Should bring him in?
But well, can you bring him in? Yeah, can you bring him in?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Hey! Happy birthday, Pascal.
Clap.
Marcus.
What's up? I want to say, and I think I thought Jason was going to intro.
Sorry. I literally, as you asked before, like, how's the internet out there? I was like, oh, it's fine. I got kicked off.
Yeah, you were pixely as fuck. It's strange because I don't think there's any pixelated video that's ever been in color like that. It's a dynamic that
is the image better now?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, the direct connection. There's some problem. I got to get it in the new box. Yeah,
but it's good to be back on. Happy birthday, Pascal. And Jason, you were hyping the what is it, the Niggalicious Day, some shit like that. I got my motherfucking chicken wings. I got my fucking cold beer. I'm ready to go. Let's celebrate Free Palestine. Hey, let's do this thing, okay?
Marcus looked like he wishes jihad on your house.
Let's do this, man. Let's out here partying. Let's fucking go.
Oh my God. Let's see Marcus and Jason buried their beef for Pascal's birthday. So I have spoken to Marcus several times. I just don't tell anybody.
Mind your business, chat.
Pretty much. And you know what else I know how to do around Marcus?
Yo, I gotta say something.
Yeah,
we got the best chat in left media. Shout out to the Revolution chat. Whether you guys real us or not, our chat is off the hook.
There's a second cat around here.
There's something that I do real well, and I know how to avoid Marcus when Ohio State loses.
Not over it yet. So not okay.
Like I get the urge. I get the phone's in my hand, and then I just put it down.
This is supposed to be celebration. Don't get me started.
I'm not trying.
This is supposed to be a celebration.
Well, let's look. There's another person that's behind the scenes that you guys never get to see. We never have him on air. He puts together a lot of the intro montage videos. He actually put together the video ad for the LA show. He's going to do one for the New York show. It took me 6 months to bring this guy on because I was terrified and a million other reasons. And he has been such an asset to the team. Please welcome, coming all the way from the Bay, the Quintern. Toussaint.
Okay.
You're lagging.
Yo.
Sorry.
Oh, wow.
What's
Look
happening?
at the Quintern.
Quinn in the
I'm
house.
professional.
Look at that crispy ass camera.
Yeah, hold on.
You got the
Gotta fix
Brianna
mine
Joy
right
Gray
now.
camera.
You got the Brianna Joy Gray.
Oh damn! What
Look at Quinn can do all kind of shit.
yeah.
This is why you get young people, folks. You can't just have old curmudgeon people on the screen constantly.
Word.
You have to have young people as a part of your crew. Toussaint, I got to help someone else that's trying to get in.
Okay.
A young person actually that doesn't know how to use the internet. So let me fix
Look at
this for
that.
you to be entertaining.
I was scratched.
Pascal, can I ask you, is there anything special that you usually do for your birthday? You know,
Nothing really. I spend time with my family. Yesterday we got a nice cake. Ordered some food with my mom, my brother, my cousins here in South Florida. We hung out. Sometimes we'll go to a restaurant. I mean, I think all of us at a certain age, where unless you guys are like maybe really young, unless it's a major birthday, you don't really expect like to do too much. They come every year, unless it's
Yeah,
like a major.
I didn't know if there's like some people have some like little, they go to some one specific restaurant that they always go to, or something like that.
Nah, I'm not really specific like that. I like to spend time with the fam.
Oh, so I was planning on doing it. Oh shit, I'm muted.
No, you're not
Sorry,
muted.
sorry, guys.
1 second. Where'd you go?
You got people
I can
coming-
hear him.
Yeah,
We got audios coming in,
yeah.
but
All right, I'm back.
oh,
Understand
hey Jill, how are you?
I'm just here to say happy birthday.
Thank you so
That's
much.
it.
I appreciate that
I'm
so
sorry.
much.
My service is back. Some weird Wi-Fi.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is Jason's daughter, I believe, right? This is
I
Jason's-
stood in the corner, got
Jason's
me 2
eldest
bars.
daughter,
by saying
Jayla,
against the gate.
wanted
Jayla.
to say happy birthday.
She's at a Christmas shindig in San Jose with her mother and Lola. So
She's looking fancy.
she is fancy.
Mm-hmm. We do have
Awesome.
other guests.
There's some more people. Can you bring in the other people, Toussaint?
Okay, let's bring in this person. So we have one guest here that is a part of the show, but doesn't always get his shine. We want to say thank you and hello to Sune, our moderator supreme. Welcome, Sune.
Thanks, MP. Greetings, comrades, and
Greetings, Sule.
and happy birthday, Pascal. It's as we were talking about earlier. It's been an incredible ride, and seeing the rise of this show. From a handful of people and Jason's mom to regularly 150 people on a live stream. That's impressive, and it truly is one of the best shows in YouTube left media, and you have one of the greatest chats anywhere
Thank you so
on
much.
the internet.
I appreciate
You know,
Yeah, it's
It
only
really
because
is
of
a-
your work.
it really is a great community, and the sheer amount of knowledge that is shared around on a stream is impressive. I mean, it's truly a community. I really enjoy it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're glad, we're lucky and fortunate to have you as part of the team.
Tell us where you're living right now, where you're talking to us from.
Oh, I'm in Copenhagen. I'm in Denmark. So it's
up late.
yeah, it's 3:30 in the morning here. So you have to excuse me if I'm a bit out of sorts, you know. But yeah, and yeah. Yeah, I'm watching the overseas crowd with the rest of the Europeans.
We appreciate it. That's a commitment. Staying up late at night to mod for us, we really appreciate it.
Suna, you stay up this late to moderate for us every night?
Yeah, well, I have insomnia, so it's
it's working out. Well, hey, we appreciate it. It means
that's it. Yeah,
the world.
That rise and grind set, or never go to sleep and grind set.
That's something you see in a Beyonce like motivational video.
Yeah. Dolly Parton did a video about this.
What was it? 5 to 9?
It's like, yeah, 5 to 9, baby. 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's got to get it in early.
I'm always grinding. Well, look. We got more people we need to bring in, Toussaint.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate you soon. I'm gonna let you get back to work.
Thank you.
Later. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sune.
Sune.
You know what? Here's another person from the original Saturday posse that is in the original Saturday theme intro.
Mm-hmm.
Do it, Toussaint. You the lady. Oh,
welcome.
The man, the myth, the legend.
That was smooth the way you showed up. I'll give you that, Paul.
Like the 5
Pyru's Paul.
Paul came in. Pyru Paul.
Pyru Paul back in action. Can you hear us?
Damn.
Deep
That's
State got
all
him.
you get. That's all you get.
Deep State. Got him.
Deep State.
If he's coming back, I shouldn't wait to say it. I got a lot of respect for Paul and his run, the campaign that he ran, which I don't know how much y'all are aware of, but he really gave it a shot for state rep, and I mean I hope he keeps going. Because his perspective and also I mean like politically he's got, like there's chops there, like in t-shirts. It's hard to keep that type of like community lead down. So but either way,
I'm mad people are saying, Kuba, what did you do? Y'all are so mean. Hey,
Kuba, stay on the job.
Is Marcus in Mexico with Jason? No, not
Costa
yet.
Rica. I chose Costa Rica.
Good idea.
Which that's the only thing I gotta check. You know what I'm saying? As long as like disability checks transfer over, that's what I need.
Say, does my direct deposit work?
I mean, hey, like it's legit. Like Costa Rica, Vietnam, there's a few other countries that do it, but I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just trying to make my bourbon podcast central. That's all.
Yeah. Like Brooklyn. This is New Brooklyn, Mexico. We changed the name to New Brooklyn.
Wow. We have another one of your brothers in arms, Pascal, who would like to say something to you.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Pascal, it ain't gonna stop. Don't even try to guess who's coming on because I really worked on this, man. Are we ready? We're gonna let on our next guest. Whew, on mobile.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Damn. It's from a gulag location. Have you been caught?
Yeah.
Cool. What happened to you?
Well, that some people in Gords keep Ewoks and dated if something happens. And if you assist Lord's Ewok, you get posted to Hop.
Oh my god!
This
He's
is a
on
little
Hoth.
tricky, but you know, it's your birthday. Gotta make it happen.
I have
So
no
cool.
idea where Kuba is, and I'm really terrified for him.
I mean, we actually know who the U.S. traded for Brittany Griner.
Oh wow! Marcus says now we actually know who the U.S. traded for Brittany Griner. That is hilarious.
How come all the guests are in like out in these wild places with no connection?
Kuba,
The
Kuba,
holidays.
blink twice if you're safe.
yeah, I know. I'm so worried for Kuba right now. I thought Summer was gonna be holding the phone. This Summer's not even holding the phone. She's like, I'm not going the fuck out there.
It's all
Cool.
like
Thank
this.
Thank you for
Negative.
coming in to wish me a happy birthday.
Hey, least I could do but I see a commissar doing something. It might be at the Ukrainian guy, but I think to the uranium pit.
Oh my god.
Happy
Kuba, go inside.
birthday.
Thank you.
Kuba, go inside, brother. Peace.
He's still wearing a tie. I love it.
And pants.
And pants. Thank you,
Put pants
Kuba.
on for you. You know, Kuba, after the show, if you call Kuba after the show, he won't answer. You know why? No pants.
He's just down there rocking freedom, huh?
Speaking of freedom, who else do we have here, Tucson?
Let's
I'm gonna
see,
remove
let's
myself
see.
from the screen.
Someone pop in?
Someone just
Oh,
popped in. You
yeah.
see?
Yeah, somebody's got a crispy setup right there. All right.
I know,
We're gonna
like
bring
a
in-
new camera. Look at that.
I like
Well,
it.
I think you should bring both these cats in together, like a team.
Like,
one of
we
these
got a lot of
guys-
friends.
Left,
One
right.
of these guys is known as White Pascal. Another one of these guys is a character on What We Do in the Shadows. Please welcome Jean Bajlan and C. Derek Vaughn.
Oh,
Hello,
here we go.
hello.
Hey.
I guess
I mean,
we're
I don't know
boys
how you're
are
doing that,
here.
but it looks so dope.
They
Oh, I
got
don't know
Vaughn in
either.
here.
I'm just poking at the screen, hoping things change.
They got Vaughn and Gene.
Hello, Pascal. Happy birthday.
Which character and what? Happy birthday, Pascal. I'm confused by what vampire
Are
Gene's supposed to
you
be.
fucking kidding me? The one that looks just like Gene, talk just like Gene, act just like Gene.
No one that looks like you.
Nando, not Nando. What's his name, Gene?
Nandor.
Not Nandor. Laszlo.
Nando.
Yeah, that's the one.
But my pornographies were well known throughout the British Empire.
Oh, well, yeah. It's that whole accent you can. It's pretty.
Pascal Robert was one of the first Negroes I ever came in contact with.
Oh my God. Oh
It was 1804, and he'd just gotten through chopping to death several French plantation owners.
my
And I was like, this is a guy who I like the cut of his jib.
Let me tell you something. I gotta tell people that one of the bright spots of doing this show with Jason is that he exposed me to folks like Gene and Vaughn, who basically expanded my horizon and say, listen, there's some decent non-black people that you can actually like to hang out with. I'm actually being marginally facetious, only marginally. But
Only
to
marginally.
tell you the truth, it's I don't think these guys know how much of a pleasure it is to do this show with them, particularly Gene, who works so hard for us behind the scenes in ways that people don't know. He does a lot of the production. He's occasionally a guest. He's a really good shoulder to lean on. He's been a really good support for me when I've had personal issues, health and otherwise, just to talk, to chat. And Varn is a guy that 3 o'clock in the morning, if I want to annoy with Varn, what the hell is going on politically? Varn's like, okay, I'll give you a text in the morning. I'll get back to you. And Varn will actually get back to me and be like, listen, check out this article. This is what I think. Varn, I really appreciate your insights. I consider you one of the most underappreciated voices in American political commentary. I think you know a lot more than a lot of the people who pretend to be experts at this. And I appreciate the amount I've been able to learn from you and from Gene. And I always find it funny that people assume that I'm, the brain behind the show. And I'm like, listen, I'm a good interlocutor, but I still learn a lot from people who are more well versed than I am in some of this subject matter. And I just want to let you guys know how much I appreciate what you guys contribute to this and how much you've personally edified my intellectual experience over the last few years. But I also can't neglect my man from 40 Grand here, Paul Prescott, who is the hardest working man in Pennsylvania politics. And I gotta say, Paul, let me tell you right now, let me tell you something about Paul Prescott, man. Paul,
first of all, happy birthday. But
thank you.
Go ahead.
Paul has written some of the baddest motherfucking articles in Jacobin that people probably haven't read, and people need to go back and read on black politics and the black left. He has written some amazing stuff. As a matter of fact, I cited some of Paul's work in the last article that I wrote for Black Agenda Report, because he was talking about a really underread book from the 40s, What the Negro Wants. I'm sure you remember that piece, Paul. It's a really good book.
I'll have to read your piece.
Yes, and I gotta say, man, this is the consortium of minds and individuals that, through the grace of God and the grace of Jason, we've been able to put together on this show has really been a sense of fulfillment for me. And I just want you guys to know that I truly feel blessed that you take the time out of your days to celebrate my birthday. And I hope that we can continue to do this kind of positive work for a long time in the future and reap the benefits from it, both materially, politically, and otherwise.
Well, that's
Man,
beautiful.
that was
I don't
really
think
nice.
any of us expected we would get showered with praise.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be giving you the praise, Pascal. It's your birthday. I mean, like, I just have to say, like, I really appreciate, getting to know you, and over these last couple of years. Like you say, I've learned a lot from you. I feel like through you, I've learned about a lot of politics in the United States, because I'm not from this wonderful country of yours. I mean, like, it's always been good to talk, to hang out, and build this show together, build the audience together, and try to do something that is, meaningful in the sphere of YouTube. So, I wouldn't want to work with anybody else. As I've discovered, the only people I want to work with is the TIR crew.
Well, all right, Quinn's got to bounce. Quinn, here.
Yeah, I got to bounce in a second, but I just want to say real quick. I mean, Pascal is someone that I have met a couple times through the show, and is someone who I really looked up to for a while as I was just like a listener before I even got involved. And as someone who is like coming from a position of less experience, if I'm going to put it slightly euphemistically, I think people like Pascal and really everyone who comes on the show have a lot to teach, my generation, and it's been a pleasure to be able to listen to this, intellectual giant kicking around everyone in his way. And happy birthday!
Yeah, I'm very
And you get to be a part of all the off air chats that we could never let people know we say.
The biggest balls on the internet.
Quinn, I'm gonna try to see you in a few days, brother. So
Oh
peace.
yeah, no, I'll see you then. All right, peace out.
Bye, Queen.
That was the Quinn turn. Paul Prescott. So
All I
good
gotta
to see
say
you.
is, yeah, you too. Thanks for having me on. All I gotta say is, Shmika Pascal. You know, I think that might have been the first episode I came on when we were talking about coming to America. It was either that or something else. The day of the Schmigas.
Yes. Yes.
How did you meet the team, Paul? You joined before me.
That's a good question. Yeah, Jason, you did
Jason.
something. It was COVID. We were all in a daze.
Jason's
Live on YouTube, and I was on the show. I don't know.
COVID for me was like this.
Yeah, I honestly forget.
I gotta read this comment. Because it's really touching. The Black Agenda Report with Bruce Dixon and Glenn Foreman was a voice in the wilderness for years. I hear them every time Pascal Robert opens his mouth. Yo, you're gonna make me shed tears with that statement, man. That's
shout out, Sean.
Very touching, man.
That was very touching. I don't have any touching sound drops other than that applause.
The gun.
You don't have like the audience like, oh, you don't have that one.
I have this.
We coming for you, nigga.
That's
Oh,
there you go. Very touching.
That's pretty
already.
That's pretty touching.
That's
I'm
touching.
going to read this comment. Norm roasted the F out of Paul, so they took pity on him and brought him in.
Oh, damn.
All right, I mean, Varn, you should hear this because Norm called me Sean King. I was like, wait, they call Varn Sean King also? They can only be one.
I got him back in New York, Paul. Just know, I got him back.
You called
live.
Norm Sean King?
Sure, that Norman Finkelstein episode has 20,000 views, man. I went back to check that out. I was like, wow.
Well, because Glenn Greenwald said it was one of the best conversations he's ever heard in his life.
That's true. People still go back and check that one out.
Yeah, which I don't know how much.
He didn't necessarily roast me. He just like would be like, Paul, your mom's Jewish, and he would like proceed to say weird stuff. And like, and I'm like, I don't necessarily want to co-sign this. I don't know what to do.
We were all that episode. We were all sitting there. It's like, oh, that was a quick run, but TIR is over now, boy.
Yeah, I thought y'all were done.
Well, there's nothing like at the end of the day too. Is like there's nothing you can read of Norman Finkelstein that'll prepare you for being on an interview.
Oh no, we were like, oh, we are straight canceled. It's a wrap. It's over. This show is done. Finkelstein has tanked this forever. It's done.
He is at a point of fuck it. Like everybody on this screen thinks we're at a point of fuck it, but we all got to hold something back.
Yeah, I care way more than that motherfucker.
He's like, nah, I lost everything. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, I mean, once Alan Dershowitz gets you, you don't care anymore.
I mean, right?
Yeah, none of us
Norm
have been
puts all his testicles on the table.
Imagine being that woman at the Epstein Island, and you end up with a Dershowitz. Good Lord! Please make sure you clean your hands.
In an alternate timeline, if Epstein had been like found out like 6 years before, Norm would probably
still have tenure.
Still have tenure.
He'd be way bigger. But I'm trying to do something with Norm we'll see, because he's got a book coming out on sublation, and I was talking with Doug about doing a live event with Norm in New York. So I do want to see Prescott, and I know New York to Philly isn't that far. I don't know.
Chinatown bus.
Yeah. When is that show again?
Well, we're doing a thing on January 22nd.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, live January 22nd in New York City at the Cutting Room in Manhattan. Give them a revolution, East Coast version. But all jokes aside, if you can make it to that, I got you on the.
Yeah. There's a small chance I could be traveling for work that day, but if not, I'll try to make it. You got
It's like a fun if pale. It looks like a fun if pale lineup.
Like the one in LA wasn't. Shit.
I don't know. I'm Sean King. You guys keep reminding me of that. So.
Oh, by the way, Marvin, happy Hanukkah.
Thank you,
bro.
Yeah, happy Hanukkah. It's the third day, right?
The third day, yeah, as soon as sundown hit. Yep.
Oh,
So,
that's
Vaughn,
right.
since
yeah.
you're Sean King,
Realize.
you could totally be in the Black Israelites.
Just take a Kanye turn? Is that what you guys are telling me to do?
It's hot right now.
You
I
need
would
to
say
get into the
Jason-
Black Israelites.
For the TIR crew, like if you really want the show to go to the next level, can you do a show of Kanye and Finkelstein, please?
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
If you pull that off, you will be legends until the end of time. If you can,
Yeah, but we want Kanye at least 3 days without his medication.
Yeah.
I mean, he just gotta have the mask on. He just gotta show up with the mask on. That's something that. Oh wow! What is it?
Can you
just thinking of Norm reacting to Kanye and the ski mask? It's amazing.
Yo, we got a shout out for the happy birthday from Conan Neutron. I just want to say thanks a lot, Conan. I appreciate that.
Aw,
Happy birthday shout out in the chat.
that's nice. We have more guests for
We
you.
got some legends over here. Conan Neutron says happy birthday. Looks like Ted from Flipper is in the chat. That fucking legends. You got fucking legends wishing you a happy birthday, Pascal.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Conan Neutron's got the best jackets in the biz.
He sure does. He sure
It
does.
It does look like he's about to host a game show in 1978.
Those were better times. I'll take it.
Gotta dress with some distinction.
Dressed to hand over a toaster.
Oh,
we have
Conan
some more
got off that.
distinguished guests.
Let's get it. The next mystery guest. Can you turn on your camera, mystery guest?
That's not the next mystery guest.
That's
the one
sorry.
after the next one.
Okay, he's the one after. Okay, bring in the next. Bring in here. I'll take myself off screen so we can have more.
Okay, nice. Welcome to our next guest, our next distinguished guest. I want to say,
Pascal. Back from the World Cup.
Hi, Pascal. Happy day after birthday.
Thank you so much, Adnan. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to be on. This is really just to boost the old complaining curmudgeon quotient. But I think actually it's really a testament to how much work M. Toussaint has put in that she actually went through the Rolodex and pulled me on. So shout out to M. Toussaint.
I just want to tell
M. Toussaint, have you been pulling people off?
I want to let people know.
What have we told you about pulling people off?
Adnan did a great justice by inviting me on his podcast to talk about Haitian politics, and I really behoove people to go check out that episode. And I was very honored to come on his show with his compatriots and talk about that subject. And I thank you so much, Adnan, for coming on And I got to tell you, I didn't recognize the importance of the World Cup when we did our episode about sports washing. But I got to tell you right now, we don't get the credit for it. We were very prescient in doing that episode because this was probably one of the most consequential World Cups in probably the last 25 years, if any, without a doubt.
Maybe more. I mean, it's going to be the most memorable one, that's for sure. I mean, not just for the football on the pitch, but just all of the issues that it brought up and all of the contradictions that it exposed. I think it's going to be one that people will talk about and think about for a long time.
Absolutely. We were definitely ahead of the curve on that one.
Yeah, well, I was really glad to be on it with Gene, arranging it. So thanks so much to Gene. And it was great to meet you. It was the first time I met you when we had you on for the Haiti conversation. And I agree. I thought, you had so many interesting remarks and insightful remarks to make there. So people should check out that episode on guerrilla history. But of course, I've been following the show. This is a great show. This is Revolution. I've been watching it or listening to it for about 2 years, and of course always followed your work on the indispensable Black Agenda report. I mean, you really just don't know what's going on if you're not reading the Black Agenda report. So
wow.
I was thrilled to be able to have you on Guerrilla History, and just wanted to hop on and say happy birthday and how much I appreciate the show and the whole crew.
Thank you so much, Adnan. I really appreciate that.
That's so sweet. Thank you. We look forward to working with you next year.
Absolutely.
All right. See you soon. We've got more people who want to say hello.
That's quite a lineup.
I'm going to bring in this next person who
How
wants
did you
to say
pull
hello.
this together, man?
There's a lot of
made
texting.
a couple of calls.
There's a lot of texting, a lot of messages. This next person who wants to come on is he's going to make this the light skinnest show on.
I'm going to say, how long until Jason's making light skin jokes?
5 seconds.
I'm actually impressed. You waited a while.
Oh, they're coming. You thought they were coming before.
Are they going to be bringing some Jamaican people on?
I was talking to this man's wife, making light skin jokes. So please welcome one of our favorite writers, professors, guitar players. I love having discussions about 80s hair metal with this man. Please welcome Ray Reed.
Wow.
Tucson, you are so slow.
Turn your camera on. I did it and it undid itself.
Ray, turn your camera on.
Don't come for me, Jason.
Get your hand off my penis!
What
oh
is
my
that?
gosh.
He made all the light skin jokes, and now he's just a black square.
You just gotta keep.
This is him like ironically responding to the light skin jokes.
I think so, right?
I'm gonna show these motherfuckers light skin.
By being a white progressive's Twitter handle in 2020, like.
Yo, Ray, what are you doing? Ray, you were like an old person with a digital camera in 2004. What are you doing?
Where's the flash on this thing? What?
I bet Ray has problems turning on the projector when he's doing a class. He's like sitting there trying to turn on his projector. He's like, what if you know how to make the PowerPoint work?
Ray got that fucking public school projector.
Yo, those things are
mimeograph machine.
Ray, what are you doing?
Ray's being special.
I mean, he's been on the show like plenty of times, you know. Like,
He knows. I mean, that's why all the kids are failing.
Mine was weird. Like, I had to restart my computer. Maybe something's going on.
It's a light skin thing.
Left the room. We probably over there talking shit.
Your show is like programmed for light skinned computers. It doesn't work right.
Exactly.
You know, it's like.
I mean, Bart never had a problem, so I'm not sure.
Ray, can you hear us?
excuses.
I don't know if he can hear us or see us.
How dark is it in his house where you can't see his ass?
He's trying to prove that he's black.
Smile.
Smile.
He's sending an AIM message.
If he can hear me, I'm gonna get cussed out in so many different languages.
Yes, you are.
Let's see what's up.
We got to hear. I'm gonna go off all the way to Toussaint. I'm gonna see what's up with Teray. I think he fell into the matrix.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Fell into the matrix. Oh my god.
I'm too sorry. I can't believe you went to all these lengths to get these guests.
Why not? Why not?
I'm just like, this was really surprising that you brought out the guns here. You got Teray, you got Prescott, you got Vaughn, Gene, my man's on the show, Marcus. I saw someone put in the chat, this is a total sausage fest. What's going on here? I was like,
I mean, Toussaint did it, so.
Yeah,
oh, okay. Uh-oh.
Timing. Really.
He's arrived.
You're working now? Finally.
Oh,
finally.
I don't know what happened.
My man, 40 grand.
And I could see me, but you couldn't see me or hear me. So belated happy birthday, Pascal. I mean, you've gotten belated happy birthday for me earlier today, and actually yesterday. So
Teray Reed, my man, 40 grand. Let me tell you something. Teray Reed is probably my best professor friend that I've never met. I gotta say, without a doubt. We've probably been talking on the phone now for over a decade. It's got to be or close to it.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's not quite a decade, I think, but it's probably.
I gotta tell you something. The first bonding moment that me and Teray had was the first question I asked. Within 5 minutes of talking on the phone, I asked him a question. And once he answered the question, I said, oh, I knew I could be friends with this motherfucker. I asked him, I said, who was your favorite MC? He said, Big Daddy Kane. I said, oh, this is my nigga. This is not a
Hey, my man, Mello, get on the mic because you know we eat Jello. But that's actually Biz Marquis from the Big Daddy Kane album in question.
Yes. Once I realized, and for those who don't know, Big Daddy Kane is also my favorite MC. Once I realized that Turay's favorite MC was Big Daddy Kane, I realized that okay, we will have no problems here. We're both Generation X, very proximate in age, and I gotta say, we've probably had some of the best, longest running kinds of conversations about how fucked up people are.
I do enjoy to talk shit. I mean, that is a favorite pastime of mine. So it works for me. Nicole Alexander,
really happy.
Birthday well wishes as well. She had to bounce for a flight, but
yes. Say hello to Deidre and give her my love as well. But I really am glad you could take time out of your schedule to come here and wish me happy birthday, man. I appreciate that very much.
Hey, thanks for having me, man, and many, many more.
Tell your dad I said what's up, man.
Yeah. Please do. Can I just say something real quick?
I was going to ask Adolf to come on, but because we changed his name to Yadolf on the show.
Jesus.
Has he been banned?
So anyway, I just want to say, Teray, I've never been on the same stream as you. There was a stream that I did watch you on from the chat. We were saying that you had 3 closets. We had a good time making jokes about your 3 closets, which you now hide. And your dad yelled at us for. Your dad yelled at us for making fun of his baby boy and his 3 closets.
You gotta do
I just
that.
want to say that.
It's one closet with 3 doors to be exact. So it's one.
Is it?
That's what it is. That's great.
Big timer.
He's got all kinds of.
He's balling.
A meth lab. There's everything. It's all there.
Oh.
All right, man. Thanks for
have a gym session.
Thanks for jumping in, man.
Thanks, man.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
My goodness. Oh my goodness.
Brought out the guns.
He can't Pascal. You know what's so for the people watching the show. and even the people on the screen outside of Bajlan, no one can see who's in the virtual green room except for us that log in the right way. And there, people were talking about the sausage fest. So we have some very strong women about to come on right now that I don't think Pascal's talked to in a minute. So, Toussaint, you want to introduce?
Sure. I'd like to bring in my new best friend on Facebook, Ikoi.
Oh, well, I am like sitting in a dark car because I didn't make it home on time. So I'm just sitting drinking my ginger beer and smoking while I'm parked to be able to make it to the show on time. I'm sorry for the shitty background, but that is the reality.
It's totally fine. We're just glad you're here.
Coming on, you were one of the people that came on when Pascal was out for a little bit. You came on and helped us out.
Yes. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
I don't think there's too much ambient noise.
No.
No, you're doing good.
Yeah, people, whoever decides to park next to me is gonna think I'm crazy, but that's fine.
Well, if you start ranting about the woke, army destroying the America, you look normal in your car.
Okay.
That's a good look.
Gene Bajlan's got to bounce. He's got dad shit to do.
Exactly.
Right. Handle the dad biz.
Peace,
Thanks for coming through, Gene.
Thank you so much for having me on. Thanks. So it's really great to talk to you, Pascal, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
And
thank you.
I will get back to the punishment for spackling. See you guys later.
Oh, yay. Hi, Gene.
Let's see if this would. Okay. There we go.
There we are.
The car battery's kind of shitty, but we'll see. We'll see. If I have to break out my charger thing, then I'm gonna blame you guys.
Well,
thank you for wishing me happy birthday, Ikoi. I appreciate it. I don't know if we've met before.
Well, I've followed you on Facebook forever, so I'm probably one of your many lurkers. Whoa!
Oh, man down.
We're back. We're good.
We're good. So yeah.
Yeah. So
I am also smoking. I apologize, but I'm channeling my inner JG Michael.
Oh Jesus, JG.
Because he's like, I used to see him on screen and he's smoking, and I'm like, damn, that looks really good right now. So I'm gonna do that today.
Doing a commercial for smoking right now.
There's another woman in the waiting wings, Toussaint, we have to bring in that Pascal's known for some time, known in real life.
All right, we're gonna do this right now.
You're good. That's how you're supposed to.
Yes. Hi.
Oh my God.
Welcome. It's your comrade from
Margaret
Black Agenda
Kimberly.
Report, Margaret
Oh my
Kimberly.
goodness.
Can you hear us, Margaret? Margaret can't hear us. I'm gonna pull her off, and I'm gonna do some tech stuff with her.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Ikoi, when your phone fell, we saw all your fast food containers and beer
Oh
bottles.
yes. Oh, thank you. Yes. Actually, there's not too many fast food containers, but there are a couple of snack bags and assortments. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you're not a parent, so you don't have like chicken wings and diapers in your car like me and Gene.
No, just cigarettes.
And right now it's California cold.
I was still like 38 or 39 or something like that.
Oh, it's colder where you are. In Mexico, it's a lot warmer than that. It's 50 something. Derek and Paul and Marcus are experiencing real people cold.
Yeah. Well, I used to live in the East Coast, so I know real cold.
Oh yeah, I don't believe in it. Well, let's bring in this woman one more time. Please welcome.
And try it again. Okay.
Yep, ready? Bring her in.
Here we go.
Mark Kimberly.
Can't hear it.
Can't hear.
You can't hear us.
I think she's getting her headphones together.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Hello.
Oh, she can hear us.
Margaret. I can't believe you guys got Margaret. Hey, this is incredible.
Hi there. Happy birthday.
Thank you
Happy
so much
birthday.
for coming, Margaret. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm happy to be here. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, Margaret.
Hi there. So I just want to, I don't know how old you're. Hello, Jason. I see your big wave, Jason. I don't know if are you telling your age, Pascal?
I'm 25 for the third time in a row.
Okay. That's an answer.
She said, okay.
I'll accept that. How have you been?
I've been fine, Margaret. I really want to say I appreciate you coming on for my birthday. And I was saying before, earlier on, about how much writing at Black Agenda Report for over 10 years and knowing Bruce Dixon, Glenn Ford, and even yourself was such a formative part of my left development. And having you come on as really kind of a living vessel from those times is something I really appreciate right now, because I don't think you really understand how much it was important for me to have that tutelage and be able to really be around with those guys, and you as well. I remember when we met up at the Left Forum in, I think, 2013, and that's still one of the most memorable moments that I have. And then I think I came up again for the 6th or 7th anniversary of Black Agenda Report, and we met up again. And I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you and what you still do and what you've done so much. And I think that we're still trying to keep the memory of Bruce and Glenn Ford alive.
Oh, thank you. But you've played a role in my life too. I think one of the great things about Black Agenda Report, it really brings people together to teach each other. So I also learned a lot from Glenn and from Bruce, but I learned a lot from you.
Well, thank you. I'm very honored for you to say that.
Yeah, so it's I'm glad we're still in touch. I haven't seen you in person in a few years, but I'm sure
I know the COVID thing was a problem, but hopefully I can get to New York soon, maybe one of these shows that we can get together.
I would love that. I would love to see you all. I saw Jason a few months back. That was nice. In Brooklyn I think it was June. So it would be perfect to see you too. And I'm very appreciative of your presence in the world and what you have to bring. You have a great voice. Black Agenda Report is we attract people who are smart and who have something to offer that certainly applies to you. And of course, I always want you to submit something. I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
Oh, Margaret, you and us both.
We're on our end of year hiatus, but we'll be back first week in January. Look forward to seeing something from you.
I appreciate that so much, Margaret.
It's like, those deadlines though.
Yep, deadlines.
Pascal be acting like Allen Iverson. Deadlines. Talking about deadlines.
Well, we all have them, but and I appreciate this is Revolution. I appreciate what you guys do, and you're among my favorites. And I think we have to appreciate ourselves as we use these platforms to try to bring attention to issues and to history that otherwise would go unnoticed. So I thank all of you guys.
Thank you
so much, Margaret.
That means so much to me.
And it was a pleasure meeting you in real life. So
it certainly was.
I look forward to seeing you again. I'll be back in New York January 22nd at the Cutting Room. And
hustling.
I will be back in New York in January, so I'm gonna look you up.
Okay. Cool.
Allegedly, I will be with the birthday boy. We shall see.
Well, we'll see.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Okay.
Not a long flight.
Right.
Man.
Paul is clowning. It's not. It's like 2.5 hours.
That's what I said. It's not a long flight.
From where to where?
Miami to New York.
Yeah, it's like under 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
All right. I know since you are a New Yorker, a native New Yorker.
Yeah, I know, but y'all have that thing called cold and snow that just makes it.
I know. Not this time of year, but
yeah.
You hit him with the New Yorker. I know you're a New Yorker. Like now you got to do it because you're just a punk if you don't.
You didn't go all that far, Jason.
A Queensian, a Queensite. What do you call yourselves from Queens?
Only kings come from Queens.
Wow.
Wow.
Punks that don't fly come from Queens.
That's an old hip hop. That's an old hip hop saying that kids used to say. No, the Queens. I know you Harlemite sounds like all hats and crowns come off for Uptown and the Harlemites. Margaret is native of Harlem, New York.
Actually, I'm not. I've lived in Harlem all my adult life, but I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in New Rochelle. That's where
you grew up in New Rochelle. I didn't know.
Yeah, Margaret and Pete Rock.
Yeah.
Oh,
Margaret has cred.
You were a native Harlemite.
I mean, I've lived here now 30 some odd years, but so I think it's fair to call myself a Harlemite.
Okay.
But no, I have to be honest. I'm not a native New York City person. But you know how it is.
I loved your last article on exposing that charlatan Hakeem Jeffries. We did a special Mama Hour just about him on our show here. Oh my God, he's
he is a living embodiment of everything wrong with Black politics that we've always talked about these years at Black Agenda Report.
Absolutely.
I mean, and he's what they need now, right? So Nancy Pelosi, her time has passed. They need somebody young. Being Black is a plus. So he says the right things, can pretend to be a progressive. Of course, he is not. And so it's, the Black politics continues to devolve.
Absolutely. It's in a crisis situation. It's really bad.
It is. But we're here, Black Agenda Report, is here to tell people what's what, that you can't trust any of these people, these phony oh my God, it's horrible, the state of politics of the duopoly right now, where it
is pretty bad. It is pretty bad.
Anyway, but you all know that.
Yeah.
Thank
you so much for coming on, Margaret.
You're very welcome, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you so much.
Margaret.
Thank you, Margaret.
Who is next?
There's more?
Pretty soon,
Dude, there's so many people.
The ghost of H.L. Randolph is going to appear.
Just for you, right?
Is everybody else late?
I gave people time slots.
Oh,
man, I wish Adnan was on screen to drop that message. They said Jerusalem is the sixth borough for Jeffries.
Who's in the 7:13 time slot?
7:30. Somebody is in the 7:15. So maybe they're going to be super punctual and wait 2 minutes to hop in.
Is this a Black person that's supposed to be in that time slot?
Okay, I don't remember.
I'm gonna call bullshit.
I was handing out time slots like Pez. I don't remember, man.
We coming for you, nigga.
That's all I gotta say to them. Okay.
We made it through first full hour of this. How
Wow,
are you feeling?
we got Dr. Lou here. Celui Joseph, happy birthday, my dear friend. Dr. Lou, my Haitian brother. Oh my gosh, incredible.
Yes, there's more Haitian hellos, but in Toussaint, we have to. I'm shaking my head in Toussaint right now.
I remember when Jason used to come on my stream talking about which one of your articles that you've written. I can't remember which article, but by the end of it, like one of the questions was, "Hey, when are you gonna have Dr. McCone on again? Because I enjoy watching Pascal and him have a conversation." And it was like, damn, we bring Jason on. He drops 1,000 words. It was the one where it's like talking about like new metal, it
was the metal and punk and politics.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah. This is all good, motherfucker. But when are you gonna get Pascal?
When you gonna have Paul McComb on? Yeah. I don't really like you per se.
You got a nice show and all. You're not my favorite though.
That nigga,
he said you're not my favorite.
Paul, that nigga came on the screen. Or not on the screen, because Marcus got a call-in show. This nigga calls in and goes, yeah, I don't necessarily like you per se. But that brother Paul McComb, goddamn. I like the way he talk.
It's honesty, you know what I'm saying? It's honesty.
I ain't never had nobody just look me in the eye and be like, yeah, not really, but next.
Wow,
damn.
man.
That dude treated me like it was a dating app.
My birthday, man.
It's a beautiful day. It's the day after your birthday, and people are still saying happy birthday.
And this is going to be on YouTube for a long time.
Yeah. And they're probably going to tell us we can't monetize it because YouTube does that to all of our videos.
Yeah,
but let's make sure we don't say Jew. I'm gonna mess it up. Sorry.
Oh, we call them European Haitians.
Oh wow!
I think I had the wrong microphone the whole time. Oh, you got to be something better now.
Yeah, now you sound better. Before you sounded like you was on punishment. Now you sound better.
He said something. We've been doing this for an hour, and I sound like garbage. Come on.
Well, does it sound like you was on punishment? I didn't know if because your life changed, your sound changed.
So while we're waiting, M. Tucson, are you ever gonna make an appearance? Like,
that's a really good question, Mr. Prescott.
It's like such a mystery.
I know that if I do see you in person, I am gonna say hi.
Okay.
Maybe a light punch in the arm. Maybe another joke about you going to sleep right after Jeopardy comes on. Yes.
Damn, like an old person.
Like an old person. That's our Paul. Pyru Paul.
Which
maybe. Eventually.
I mean, you can just jump on right now, say hello, pop back out.
That'd be funny.
It's like
no, she won't do it.
Crazy mystery. I'm like, wow, I still have never seen M. Tucson.
All right, how cold is it where you are, man?
About 15 degrees, about a foot of snow on the ground in the desert.
That noise.
I dug my car out last week. You know,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Fuck that noise.
I don't miss that.
I recorded
I'm in the car with you, boy.
Already?
Huh?
Is the school year over already?
I don't teach after tomorrow, and but yeah, I drove in today. Yeah, I kind of miss Georgia during the winters here. However, I lived in Wyoming for a little while, and it gets it gets in that cold where Fahrenheit and Celsius become the same thing, and it's too cold to snow.
It's too cold to snow.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah, it happens. It also
Sounds
gets
like
so cold that it kind of is. I mean, I went to I was working out there, and I went into this shed, and it was 24 degrees in the shed, and it felt warm, and I knew that I had been ruined by the weather there, and that no people should live there. And and basically nobody does. I mean, to be completely fair, I mean, it's more like caribou than people. But
I don't care how you drive through Wyoming via the 80 or the 25. There's no one there. And when you do see people, you feel like you're in an episode of Twin Peaks.
Is it reservation country? A lot of Native American reservations.
Sure.
It's a little bit of res country, a lot of Bureau of Land Management. I was about to say BLM, does that mean something else down here? So it's a lot of Bureau, just like Utah's a lot of Bureau of Land Management land, like once you get out of the mountains. So yeah. But that's what it's like. I'm really jealous of Miami right now.
It's not that bad. It's not crazy hot, but it's like 60s, low 70s.
That's perfect.
Must be nice.
Take it.
Your Marcus.
Nice.
That's perfect.
Yeah, the thing about Utah is like 110 in the summer too. Like we get both extremes, so
it's incredible.
So yeah.
My last time in Salt Lake on tour, it was the spring, and I remember we had to haul ass out of there because it started snowing. And I was like, anywhere that snows in the spring is an evil place.
I was in Green River, Wyoming once, and it snowed in fucking June.
Damn.
Not okay.
I thought the worst experience I had was snow in what's supposed to be a warm season. When I was in law school in Boston, and the blizzard of '96 hit, and it was April, and there was like 2-3 feet of snow, and it was miserable, man. I remember walking in Boston in the blizzard cold in April, and I was like, "Oh, this is just horrible, man."
The first year I moved to Maine, it snowed the second week of April, and I don't know how it's hard to describe how upsetting that is to like actually move to a place and it's like this is how why do people live here is my question.
But you grew up in Ohio, man. Isn't it brick
April?
cold?
The second week in April, though, it's jumping feet of snow. I wasn't ready for it. Ohio doesn't do that shit. Well, it might now. I don't know. I haven't been back.
I thought Ohio was one of those places where they have that ridiculous, like brick Michigan cold.
No. Well, that's where it's like Cleveland. Cleveland, they can have that. Columbus, we don't get the lake effect. Very temperate, moderate people. Okay, in Columbus, no extremes.
Wow. So M2 Son, who we got next, man?
Well, we gotta wait for the people to show up first. There's no one queued up just yet.
Pascal's getting used to this. Like, all right, who's next?
I know, right? Where are my people at?
She invited too many black people, and this is what happens. They are
Feels
late.
like it.
They are
like
late.
it.
I'm surprised I'm on time.
See, the Asian woman came on time.
I'm never on time. That's the thing. I like fuck the Asian trend by never being on time.
Look, I have a million kids with you people, and woman is late for everything. They yell at me if I'm late 5 minutes picking up one of these little bastards, but let one of these hoes have to be somewhere, and they just.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
This is like the one episode my ex-wife watches. She's like, "I'm a hoe now, huh?" No, not calling you.
Deserve that.
Say
the proverbial hose.
Proverbial.
So the platonic hoe, is that what like the
Yeah, it's like you have hoe.
Like the perfect form of hoe that exists in the universe.
Yeah,
Is that a thing?
What do they say? Remember that Black Sheep album?
Platonic?
Well, we have a very good friend of Pascal. I don't think I've got a chance to tell this person that the last show I was a guest on, someone called in to say that they like him. Yeah, it's cool. What you need more Paul McComb. So please welcome the Dr. Paul McComb.
Oh, yeah.
Toussaint, stop.
Wow.
Happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday, Paul. So you the late one. I should knew it. I should have known it, man. You be the late.
Hey, brother, I fell asleep. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Paul McComb, brother. Paul, man, thank you so much. By the way, for those who don't know, Thursday is Paul McComb's birthday, so wish him a happy birthday as well.
Oh,
happy birthday, Paul.
Thank you.
Paul, man, I'm glad. Hey, listen, at least they didn't ban you from YouTube because I know Facebook got no love for you at all. Man.
Yeah. Facebook, Twitter just lifted their ban off of me.
Anyway, man. But listen, Paul. Yo, listen, I just want to let you know, man. Thank you for contributing to the commentary that we have on this show, man. You've had probably a couple of the liveliest episodes we've had. The first one that we did talking about what was the one? The first show we did was oh my god!
I think the Haitian Revolution,
Critical Race Theory.
Mm-hmm.
That show has a lot of views, man. That one did well. Then we did the other one on Haitian history. Then we did the one on Voodoo. You believe me, man. People ask about you all the time, man. They're like, "Yo, man, we gotta get Paul on." And people don't know that you and I actually have met in person, and we know each other in person before actually online. We've spoken at conferences together, me, yourself, and Dr. Lou as well.
Yeah,
on a couple of occasions. So it's really, and I know Dr. Lou is moving to Texas now, man. I'm gonna feel bad. Listen, it's like the Haitian Florida trifecta is breaking up, man. You know, but it's a really, really been an honor. For those who don't know, man, I've learned so much. Much of the information I have about Haitian history and Haitian politics has come through my conversations with Paul McComb, man. Paul is probably one of the few scholars that does a hardcore class, particularly Marxist-infused analysis of the Haitian Revolution and Haitian politics in a way that you're not going to get anywhere else. And I'm really, really glad that there's never been a time that I've called Paul to come on the show and he's giving us a problem. He's like, "Oh, no problem. Anytime, man. I'll come on." So thank you so much for coming on for my birthday, bro.
Hey, no problem, brother. No problem. I won't stay long because I'm exhausted. But I said I can't.
I know you because you've been teaching at Rutgers for a while, right?
Yeah, brother. So I said I had to come on and say happy birthday. By the way, I do use the videos in my classes, believe it or not.
I appreciate that, man. I'm very honored, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Paul, by the way, Paul does not miss an episode of This Is Revolution. He's been a loyal follower for a long time, man. He loves the show. I always ask him his opinion of our episodes, and he promotes the show, and he teaches them in his class regularly.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. Toussaint had to send me a message to remind me to come on.
All right,
I did. I'm glad you listened to my message, unlike some people.
You woke me up. All right,
Thanks,
brother.
Paul.
You have a happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
No
Happy
problem.
birthday, Paul.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Are you taking off, Ecoy?
No, I just said happy birthday to the guest that was leaving.
Thank you, Ecoy.
Okay, both Pauls have to head out. So Born Center Cold World cannot see the light skin, dark skin Paul fight that she wanted to see.
Oh God.
It's actually while we're both leaving, we're having the fight in a different forum.
Well, I wanted to see. I wanted to see more of a posse cut. I was hoping for like a Stevie Wonder, Paul McCartney kind of Ebony and Ivory moment, and
I was gonna say
I will get this.
I'm Stevie
last
Wonder,
thing
right?
I do.
I'd be Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, we would reverse it. We'd reverse it.
Yeah, right.
We'd
Okay.
reverse
Paul
it.
is like, I'm not quite Ivory.
Paul Prescott, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you showing up.
Happy birthday.
Or more of a say Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney. I want to get funky with it.
Paul is off Ivory.
Okay.
I should probably leave now. Then. This is my time to leave.
Peace, Paul.
All right, great seeing everyone.
Paul.
Can you imagine? Can we say shout out to Paul's Philadelphia Eagles as well?
Yo, the Eagles are doing work.
Jordan Dubin says Ebony and Ivory is actually Jason and Ben Burgess. No, Jason and Ben Burgess is Rocky and Apollo running on the beach.
Hey.
You might have to workshop that one.
So, if you wanted to engineer a Paul versus Paul fight, would I just need to mention CLR James? Is that what would do it?
Yeah, that might. Darn.
Man. Throwing steak in the lion's den over here.
The girl is mine. JB says the girl is mine.
I'm good at starting fights by accident. Like that time I started the whole Afro-pessimism 2-hour thing and apparently killed somebody.
With the late Greg Tate.
Yeah.
You pissed off Greg
Talk about that, Jason. I'm going to wrangle some more guests.
Okay. The Greg Tate, famous music journalist. Either Rolling Stone, some major publication actually did a really nice obituary to Greg Tate when he passed away. I was so excited that Greg Tate was coming on the show. You know, Black Rock Coalition from back in the mid '80s, and I'm thinking we're going to have this wonderful conversation, and all of a sudden, Greg Tate starts quoting Frank Wilderson like he's Elijah Muhammad, and Derek Varn was just sitting there throwing gasoline on the Afro-pessimistic fire.
I didn't know saying the J word was an Afro-pessimism discussion. So.
We were not. I think all we did was mention we were having a discussion about anti or post-Marxism before Greg Tate comes on with Lillian Chichurchia, and I think she brought up Cedric Robinson's Black Marxism, and yeah. Straw McCallum calls Frank Wilderson the woke Clayton Bigsby. Damn, that's rough. I hope Naomi is going to be on. Naomi who? I don't know who Naomi is. Who's Naomi? Do we know a Naomi? I feel bad. You know who I did hit up? Brianna Joy Gray. You know what? She never gets back to me. She never gets back to me.
You don't talk about AOC enough for her to talk to you.
I tried. I really tried, but she does not want to make this podcast fucking power couple happen.
The thing is, I was actually thinking about this. It might have been the Norman episode, but it definitely was an episode with Angela.
Yeah.
And I remember saying something was like, people get caught up with the squad and all that type of stuff like that, but it's like they don't have enough power to actually do the things that they're prescribing, right? Like there's no betrayal of the working class by the squad because the working class has already been betrayed. There's no, like, it's already been, but it's like they don't have any actual power to do the things that these people are mad at them, you know? And like it's just, even with this whole like the railroad strike is coming up, I was thinking about that, like that episode again, and just saying it's like these people get so caught up, but it's like they don't have enough power to do the things that you're mad at them for.
Yeah, you know what though, I do think, like, not to defend Joy Gray here, but like there is a sense in which like maybe the DSA can quit fucking lying that they do have that power then, like.
Yeah,
if we're gonna be honest about it, like maybe they should quit pretending, because that shit gets on my nerves. I agree. I actually told someone who wanted to kick him out of the DSA. I was like, "What would it fucking matter? Like, it's just gonna make the DSA look
You think they go to the meetings?
Right? Exactly. Right? Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Look, can we just, Barn, can we agree that for a lot of people, this is just sports and your favorite band? And you know what a lot of this shit sounds like to me, Varn? And since we're music homies like this, I hope you relate to this. You know what this feels like to me?
What?
Metallica cut their hair.
Oh.
All this shit. Every time somebody says something about you did this, Metallica. All I hear is Metallica cut their hair. These motherfuckers get so worked up.
It was traumatic when they cut their hair, though. Come on.
Derek, am I lying, Derek?
No, you're not wrong. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, like, if y'all wanted to really blow up big, all you got to do is get Pascal to complain about AOC every 35 minutes, and I'm sure a bunch of white boys would show up and give you money. But you know,
it's scoring points. People want to score points. That's why motherfuckers like sports. That's why motherfuckers like video games. There's games on these dating apps. It's cats want to score points. And some of these, he said blah blah blah, or so and so said AOC is this. It's all point scoring. It's either point scoring or that band sold out. And I'm like, who did they betray? Because last I checked, that's just how politics functions.
I'm not mad at this. Well, I am a little bit mad at Squad for being stupid, but I'm not really mad at the Squad. I am mad at elements of the DSA who sell, and people complaining about it who sell this shit, because I'm like, for some of these people, they are building real hope for something that they have not done shit to do. I mean, I hate to tell people, but even if you take the outer limit of the DSA's numbers, which is what, like 95K, that's a borough in New York. I could drown that in a bathtub. Like
That's kind of harsh. That's kind of harsh.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, for real, I like to tell people that the Raelians at least claim 600,000. So, you know, alien sex cults are your thing. If we are to believe them, they're much larger.
It's a branding exercise, and I think one thing people are maybe so caught up in, you can't see it. Obama was branding,
right?
And Trump doubled down on branding, and AOC, and I'll keep saying this until maybe more people start reiterating this, is our first social media politician.
Yeah.
And you know, she got it right with the branding as some sort of progressive. And look, I don't know her personally. All I know is what I've read and what I see. And all you really need to do for most people that get real excited about this stuff, because it is, again, it's sports and it's projection. And if you are a sports fan, listen to a sports talk show. All it is projection from people that know nothing about the team, the inner workings of any team. And that's the same thing that I get when I hear a lot of people talk about this media creation that is the Squad.
Yeah, I think it's like, especially it's like, what's frustrating for me is like coming from my background, there's like a lot of people who talk about say electoral politics is worthless, and then they consistently talk about electoral politics in a very ignorant way, you know. And that's the thing though, is like, once you come to where I think most of us agree, right? It's like once you come to the reality of that, we're so, you know, the left, quote unquote, in the United States is so far from any type of wielding any organizational power. It ends up just going to the same thing where you're just like clipping and, you know, getting mad at somebody that you think you do have control over. And, you know, at the end of the day, it just ends up being a whole lot like whatever gets clicks and blah, 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 or, you know, getting mad at someone until they come on your podcast. And it doesn't really do much to drive a narrative in like the working class of the United States. It does nothing to build any type of power that can be wielded to change material conditions. It just kind of ends up in the just doing the rounds in the algorithm, and then waiting for the next time that you could do it again.
Do you feel? Can I ask you guys this question? And I want to ask the birthday boy this question. So Ben and I were talking about this recently, and I was like, "There's nothing that feels more capitalistic to me than your consumer choices, and voting almost feels like consumer choices at this point. Kind of base your lifestyle politics, and politics is a bit of a lifestyle brand, and it feels to me that people are real caught up in basing their lifestyle brand on just how they vote. Even like Marcus says, the people that go, "Oh, I'm not about electoral politics," but it's almost like, well, I voted for this, I vote for that, or I don't vote
never
at
voted
all.
for this person.
Yeah. Pascal, what is your?
I think that because for really what we call the 50+ year counter-revolution, we've been so divorced from real significant movement politics that people are impressed with the fact that they even vote at all. And as a result, they attach so much value to it that it does become a lifestyle. That people are like, "Oh, are you voting Democrat? Are you voting Republican?" And I think that the phenomenon of Trumpism really expanded that problem because Trump really caused people. I think Trump fractured the consciousness of a lot of liberals in this country and a lot of certain people in the Republican Party as well, in that they believed he was such an anomaly that they became a different type of extreme, and their politics became a brand. Anti-Trumpism became a brand. Trumpism became a brand, and it all became a brand. And it's just like, I know people are just so. I mean, I understand January 6th. I get it, so on and so forth. But people are just obsessed with it. It's like, listen, I get what the guy did. We want to see him, be taken out legally, whatever, so on and so forth. But it's like the amount of emotional investment is really extreme.
I mean, I've argued that left and right in America doesn't have right has meaning, left does not, except that it is not right. That's all. I mean, that's pretty much the meaning in the United States. The reason why we can all call everybody else a liberal is we don't really know what liberal means anymore, nor do we know what left means. And I don't actually, I say that because there's sometimes I don't know what we mean by it anymore. I'm like, it's a floating fucking signifier. I told our Chris Catrone when I left his organization a decade ago that, like, when he was like, the left is dead, and I was like, I don't even know what left you're talking about being dead, right? Like, I don't know what you're talking about as a thing of which it has died. Now, I do now. Ironically, since the time I left that in 2013, there has been a quote Overton window move towards the left, but every time I talk to quote leftist unquote and ask them what they actually believe or even what they think I'm saying to them, I get 1,000 different things. Actually, one of the things that my first big, how I ended up on this show, let's go back into the deep archives here, is I called Jason mean words on the internet for bringing up David Harvey, because I thought David Harvey had like a political conspiracy theory basically about neoliberalism that didn't look at the hard economic facts of why that conspiracy took place. Not that it didn't happen, but that it wasn't just policy, right? And then when I started hearing Pascal speak, and I was like, oh, finally somebody else who like comes at this from a completely different perspective than me, but has a lot of the same frustrations about what does it mean to be left now, because a lot of people say a lot of shit. And I have gotten, I mean, we talk about how, people calling other people grifters is usually bullshit, but I actually, Jason, totally agree with that. But I'm beginning to get why they feel that way, because they were sold a brand that was pretty much substanceless, and they were sold a vision that was pretty much a man, an old white Jewish man. And
you leave Sam Cedar out of this.
Sam Cedar's not that old.
I was going to say, not that there's anything wrong with that.
This is not to disparage Bernie, but a person is not a movement.
Yep.
And then a lot of people created stories around that. Like, I kept on hearing, like, well, Bernie brought back the workers' movement. I'm like, no, the union uptick in America began after its collapse in the 70s. In 2012, right before, you can't even blame it on Occupy, it's right before Occupy. And then it collapses during COVID, all right? And actually, and I find it like wild that we keep on talking about this rebirth for unionization, and I'm just looking at stats going, it's only in Amazon and Starbucks. Like, all the other unions are dying from attrition, or they're going in, like, you're having all these unions who are like unionizing TAs and adjuncts who need it. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, why are TAs represented by the United Auto Workers Union? Well, because the United Auto Workers Union's own field collapsed, right? So, like, and I'm seeing these people in the DSA and Jacobin sell this stuff, and like, if they are in a union, they are paid staff. Like, I'm not saying everybody, I don't want to overly generalize, but like, that's definitely the way they talk about it. And most of the time I'm hearing people talk about selling unions to people, and I ask them, have you ever been in one? And the answer I get is no.
Nope.
Right? Well, let me tell you what kind of frustrated me, Vaughn, is that, I mean, I'm a little bit more generous than you are with Sanders, because I have gone on the record and said that I felt that there was value in the Sanders the Sanders candidacy, because I think that he expanded the Overton window and introduced a generation of kids to left. And what I mean by left is anti-capitalist politics that normally would not have thought that capitalism was the problem. Of course, there were precursors to that. You can say Occupy. You can say the crash of 2008. You can say that it was not even Sanders. It was a result of the material contradictions of the subprime mortgage crash and the economic precarity that came with that. I agree with that. But the one thing I don't think we should deny, and we are fair and honest, is that the Sanders campaign of 2016 particularly galvanized that energy into a certain force that would not have existed otherwise, that created a new kind of worldview, particularly around under 40 millennials, and gave them certain rhetoric and skills and encouraged them to read people who had been considered relics intellectually in America. And I'm not saying this applies to you because you had already been there. You were on the left maybe since 2009 or 10, if I'm not mistaken. They started to read Marx or consider Marx. They started to consider socialism. They started to consider all of these left options that many people who were older, at least Generation X, if not baby boomers, were completely anathema to the consciousness of the American body.
And we can't ever underestimate the fact that a lot of interest in progressive politics does really, to me, start with Obama, especially after 8 years of Bush Jr. The Sanders movement takes it to where I think people thought Obama was in 2008 and 2012.
I think, like, especially like going to Sanders too, it's like one of the things that's like, I think it might be valid to ask, is like, what was missing, because and Vaughn, I think you said it perfectly. It's like, this is not a movement, this is a man. This is a campaign for presidency, and once it went away, it went away. right? Because that's what campaigns do. Once they're over, they go away.
I think the biggest mistake Bernie Sanders made is not so much in 2016, but in 2020. In that 2016, when Trump wins, everyone who's on the left flank of the Republicans got scared. They all crapped on themselves when Trump won, including Bernie, because Bernie went silent and he did not want to seem like he was going to ruin the quote unquote the opposition to Trump. Okay, so he just laid back in the cut. When he ran in 2020, and they set up the Democratic primary intentionally to stop him from winning, and that is exactly why they had so many candidates. And they set up Biden with the South Carolina primary, with Clyburn basically orchestrated to give Biden the nomination. Remember, after Biden wins South Carolina, after losing every other primary before, they forced all the other primary candidates in the Democratic Party lineup to drop out.
Except for Warren.
And Biden walks into the nomination. Bernie did not take the opportunity after the 2020 election to actually create grassroots movement politics, which I know he understands how to do.
Yeah, he did it in Vermont. In fact, basically after 2016, he did the opposite of Vermont. But I don't want to make it about a referendum about Bernie. I wanted to, I kind of find the whole Bernie betrayed us thing to be obnoxious. Like, it's not. I don't think it's true. And B, I don't think it matters. Which I think that last part bothers people even more. I think the one thing I worry about, Pascal, that's a little bit different than you, and maybe this is where I'm harsher, is I see a political horizon right now that is actually more limited, despite the resurrection of socialism, for people to actually see what they could do to get out of the bind with the right wing of the Democratic Party. And there is nothing that people can do that's realistic if they stay within that framework. They go insane. They go weird shit trying to think their way out of that. They start talking about how Trump was more progressive than Biden, or some objectively like even on war. I find that a statement like, yeah, Biden's a war hawk, but he ended Afghanistan. Trump didn't shut the fuck up. Well,
what's really happening, and let me tell you, I agree with you. I think that we're in a moment where that same energy that Bernie helped start is on its deathbed. Why? Because the liberals who are to the right of the progressives or leftists or anti-capitalists or socialists are recalibrating. They are reconfiguring. Listen, I put something on social media, and this is to me a bellwether of the condition of the Democrats. After the midterms, particularly after Georgia, and particularly after Brittany Griner, the black political class was thrilled with itself. They got Hakeem Jeffries, who's now going to be the next head of Congress if the Democrats take over. He's basically in control. They got Warnock beat out Herschel Walker in Georgia. They got one of the biggest victories that's underappreciated. They got this neoliberal troglodyte Wes Moore, who's now governor of Maryland.
You call a dude a troglodyte. Well, speaking of a non-troglodyte, let's bring in a gentleman that, thanks to Touré Reed, was part of one of the better episodes that we did, and he also gave Pascal a ton of reading. Please welcome the newlywed Josiah Rector.
Hey guys, how you doing? I hope my mic is working.
Your mic's working. We can hear you.
Hey, happy birthday, Pascal. My bad for coming in late.
Josiah, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. I want before you come on, man. I gotta give you your flowers, man. Let me tell you something. This cat right here gave me a list of some of the best books on Black politics I've ever seen in my life, man. I mean, dude, I text this cat and I was like, yo, listen, I need, really some good books to explain the transition of Black politics in the age of neoliberalism. Yo, Josiah, I'm still going through some of those titles, bro. And I gotta tell you, that stuff was valuable.
Oh, thank you. And actually, I was actually just talking to Jay Arena, who I know is a friend of some of the folks that you were mentioning, and he's doing this project on Ross Baraka in Newark that I think you'd be really interested in, actually, and charter schools and all that shit.
Wow.
I think you would have a really good conversation with Jay Arena about.
Torres kept telling me that we got to get Jay Arena on the show.
Yeah.
But by the way, did you recently get married? You recently got married, right?
Yeah, I did.
Congratulations, man. But I really appreciate you coming out. I
wanted to be on here earlier. I feel like I missed all the good stuff, but you guys were talking about the kind of dying embers of the Sanders effect, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, you want to jump in with some input?
Well, actually, I was so I'm based in Houston, Texas. We have a sizable DSA chapter, and then I know some of the people in like PSL, and there's a couple small, more radical left tendencies here in Houston, and then you have like the trade union bureaucracy, the corporate Democrats, but there's not a very strong left, unsurprisingly, where I am. I do a lot of stuff with Houston DSA and some of the labor groups here, but I was just talking to one of my friends who is more radical and kind of suspicious of the entryist tendencies of the DSA. And he was talking about how likely it is the DSA is going to return to where it was before 2015, which is really the sort of Michael Harrington contradiction of a group that essentially is like, it's like Dissent magazine, right? It's this very soft left kind of Democratic Party entryist, quasi-social democratic organization with like 5,000 members. And DSA had this boom in 2015 because of Bernie, but it's like, and it's always had the same problem of being disproportionately middle class, PMC, et cetera, disproportionately white. But the bigger problem is that DSA's strategy, they might get some city council members, they might get some people in the House, but they're not going to affect any legislation. You see this with Pramila Jayapal's Medicare for All Act. Yep. Where has that gone? Nowhere, right? You see it with the Jamal Bowman problem, et cetera. And look, I think that local DSA chapters do some valuable work. We've done some valuable work with local labor organizing, but I think there's a danger of DSA returning to what it was before 2015 and going, they could lose half their membership and dwindle down into what they were. And I think it's the Michael Harrington problem. It's the Michael Harrington strategy problem.
Yeah, and it's just something like I feel like I was well, not and just Marcus, nice to meet you. I don't think we've been on like at least I'm not sure. Yeah. But and once again I'm gonna throw it back to Varn. And actually just like Varn, that book that you'd recommended that I read, I thank you so much, right? Being like as we're giving kudos to book recommendations, but when it's like pointing at Bernie, pointing at any of the members, like progressives members, I think it takes away accountability, responsibility from the actual like people run organizations that like the left should be, that that's the type of principles that we should be going for. So it's like even getting disappointed and saying like, oh, Bernie let us down. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like there wasn't the organizing effort matched with the popularity to build something, sustainable and not even just sustainable, to build something that's like forceful, that I can actually wield power and not just scrape and claw for maybe some decent messaging around an issue. And that's where it's like going to like any type of electoral strategy. And there's something like I think that like PSL kind of pushes a lot of like understanding that most Americans understand electoral politics as their only identifier to any type of political power. Some then, much smaller, have their union organizations. And so
I remember we had Adolf Reed on, and we talked about how he kind of felt that he couldn't expect any more from Bernie, and I kind of pushed back against that because I made the argument that I felt that Bernie missed the opportunity, but not by not turning his candidacy in 2020 into a movement. And I think Adolph's response was something to the effect that we can't blame Sanders for not building the left that we want to see.
And I agree with it.
And I have to say,
because you could have built an actual, and like the things that Bernie did in Vermont. And I'm sorry to let you go to that, but like the things that Bernie did as a first, like the first when he's just started as mayor in Vermont, of actually building people-run organizations because the government there largely shut them all out. If he's attempting to do that with a bunch of the nationwide campaign offices, instead of just building a campaign office, you build a communal service, right? Whatever the party's going to be, this is where they meet. This is where they decide on what they're going to do. And you hold that office, you hold that physical space geared towards solving the issues within that community. And then you hopefully, maybe half of them, maybe a quarter of them, maybe only one of them stays. But at that point, that's actually a movement building strategy and not just getting elected.
Josiah, you want to say something?
I was just going to say, to the credit of both DSA and the people in the 2016-2020 Bernie campaigns, I remember groups like the ISO, the SWP, the Marxist-Leninist sects in like the early 2000s. And that's how I got introduced to the leftist groups like that and like the Answer Coalition and stuff. And I remember how small and weak it was. And you guys have often pointed that out on your show. And I think the fact that DSA is still stuck with the Harrington problem, right, of sort of ineffectual entryism at the margins of a corporate-dominated party, and that Bernie ended up sort of caving to Biden and getting some little concessions here. But you see, like with the recent Yemen war resolution, like he keeps getting steamrolled. They can get some little concessions on the edges from the corporate Democrats. But just thinking about how weak the radical left is now, but even more so was 15 years ago and 10 years ago, I think that we shouldn't expect too much in some ways. And I agree with the point that Adolph made, that Pascal referenced, that you could definitely see the Bernie campaigns as successes relative to where we were in, say, 2013, right?
Yeah.
But that's a pretty low freaking bar, right? And
I think that might be the shitty part, is just recognizing like how right wing of the country that we live in and how far we have to go.
Well, I mean, I would go further, Marcus. I'd say how right wing of a world we live in.
I was about to say the same thing.
Like it's not. I sometimes hear this about the U.S. and I'm like, I don't know. I've been to Europe. They seem like they're full of shit too.
Britain is a one-party right-wing country. The left is totally dead in Britain right now. As bad as the Tories are, there's no left party. And even in the failure of the Tories, they're still going to be in control maybe for another decade, maybe for another 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, to defend Bernie a little bit, and I know I'm not given to it, I just want to compare it to Corbyn. Corbyn got farther, and his left got more eradicated. It pretty much does not exist now. The liquid, where the DSA is interesting though, Josiah, because like in 2016 it was a pretty mass organic movement, doubling every year. Now it is shrinking from every MPC report that I read. And what I find interesting is the sects, the sects you're talking about, even like the ISO, the IMT, the Trotsky sects, the ML sects, they're how the DSA regionally organizes outside of New York and California, because there's no regional level organization as designed by Harrington explicitly. So now those groups make up the caucuses that are the intermediate. So the sectarian wars are just in the DSA. But I think you're right, because I remember, like, I was so disgusted by International Answer, it broke my brain, and I became a right winger for 4 years. Like, true facts. So,
and just to be clear, I'm not just dumping on the MLs. I remember I did some stuff with like the SWP in Philadelphia a long time ago, and I was around those groups a fair amount, and a lot of their members did great stuff, but they were trapped in an organizational model that couldn't exceed a few hundred members, and there was a problem of ossification. I don't want to generalize too much between, say, ISO or SWP and all these different sectlets and their constant breakages. As far as what you're saying about how these groups went into the DSA, I agree with you, and it is kind of an incoherent mishmash.
Yeah, it's fine though. I mean, like, this is what we do on Pascal's birthday. We honor him by talking about other leftists. But I mean, it's very frustrating right now because it is interesting how much more it hurts to come down when you actually kind of sort of got somewhere than it does. Like, I didn't feel hurt when the left failed in 2012 or in 2007, or because it was like, well, that's what we do. Like, we just lose. But after Bernie, I will admit it hurt more. And I think a lot of people, I mean, just personally, have been going through something with that because it did hurt more, because it's the first time you ever tasted in America. I mean, you know, what it was like to be, I don't know, a Marxist in Britain or something, where you might almost affect something for about 30 seconds. And the bitterness of that really hit, like, for a lot of people.
I want to say something that might kind of offend some people. I'll be very honest. And this comes out of a product of who my mentors were in the political tradition I come from. And I think Adolph Reed actually stated this as well. I never expected Bernie Sanders to win a Democratic nomination. I never did, because I understand the nature of American politics and the reality that to think that the bourgeois capitalist left flank of Capital Party is going to let a nominal socialist be its nominee, in my opinion, was always ridiculous. So the value of Sanders to me was never in his potential to win the nomination. The value of Sanders to me was to organize and mobilize and open the Overton window to his politics and expand the capacity of people to create grassroots movement politics on the ground.
Yes. I agree. Can I add something to that? So I often think about Adolph's work with the Labor Party in the 90s. And I recently read a biography of Tony Mazzocchi by Les Leopold, who talks a lot about the Labor Party in the final chapters of the book. And Mazzocchi often said that you're losing in politics if someone else is choosing what you're talking about. And what Sanders did do was change the subject. People talking about Medicare for all and the like. You know, if you can get people talking about single payer healthcare, if you can get people talking about raising the minimum wage, if you can get people talking about free college, that in and of itself is valuable, right? If you do if you look at the balance of power within the Democratic Party, it's hardly surprising that he got screwed in the primaries, and that even if he had somehow magically won, the mass armies of corporate lobbyists hired by those industries, beginning with big pharma and health insurance, would have gone to war so heavily. I mean, people don't even realize what it took historically to get the meager, crappy excuse for social democracy that we had between the 30s and the 70s. And there was anything approaching that. I mean, general strikes shutting down entire cities in 1934, mass strike waves, Communist Party, Socialist Party, fascism, the existence of the freaking Soviet Union, all that is gone, right? So to be able to shift the balance of power enough to win any social democratic concessions out of the corporate parties would require something that barely exists on the margins of the labor movement and a few other places. But to get people talking about single payer healthcare, positive. To get people to talk about those other issues, very positive.
You know what?
Well, look, it's getting late.
Mhm.
It's getting late. Sorry. Would you want to say something in closing, Derek? I'll let you close it out.
No, I was gonna say, I think that's all true and that's all fair. I just worry that we're already seeing that shifting of the conversation fade dramatically quickly. Like, I haven't heard people talk about Medicare for all in 2 years.
Well, you're not on the right Twitter looking at.
Exactly. You're not in the chats.
Get your
You're not in
mind
the
right
chats.
there, Derek Varn.
I haven't heard somebody talk about it realistically in years.
Look, realistically,
Good save,
McCoy,
Marcus. Good save.
I wanted to talk to you anyway. So funny that you're on the stream. I was reading this great article in the LA Times about a shortage of mental health workers. You know how leftists love saying, just hire mental health workers to fix the problem of the people that are crazy. isn't there some sort of surplus of people that want to make $15 an hour and deal with
right,
crazy
right.
people throwing feces at you? But I would love to get you actually down here and we do a show on the terrace.
On the terrace. There's a party down in Mexico.
Terrace
Which,
talk.
and that thing is like, your boy Ben couldn't even make a sugar run for the birthday stream.
He's got one of his 552 articles that he's writing right now, and I told him I would hit him when we were done. And I think we're gonna watch a Christmas movie. I've been trying to watch Christmas horror movies and Christmas action movies. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
I agree.
Die Hard 2.
Christmas
Jason,
movie.
I mean,
Die Hard 1, Christmas movie.
Also,
just
Die
just
Hard
want to
when I
rib
meant.
on Burgess. I literally took 2 weeks off to write, and I still shut up. I just want to say that. I put my own show on pause and pre-recorded for 2 weeks so I could write, but I showed up. That's all I gotta say.
I'll look. I'll let his ass know. I'll let his big ass know.
Jay, is this, if I'm not mistaken, this is our last show before the new year, right?
Yeah.
Our last live show.
Oh, that's live show. We have pre-records, right? So we got to say goodbye to our audience for a while. We will be having copious pre-records to entertain you.
So many interesting shows. I don't even know the order that they're going in, but I'm pretty stoked for. We did a lot of shows in the last couple of weeks, so I'm excited for people to get them. Pascal, I hope you've enjoyed your birthday stream. I feel like Josiah coming in like old Eddie Kane from the 5 Heartbeats at the very end. It's kind of perfect. I know the return of Marcus is going to have everybody going, where's Marcus on Saturday? Where's Marcus?
The thing is, like, I can't.
Is he still mad? Is he all mad?
I can't fuck with Saturdays. Like
I heard Marcus beat up Jason's kids. Where's Marcus?
Yeah, I've got 13 kids that I've already beat up. I got about 24 kids to go.
That's right.
Going down the list.
Josiah, I got to send you a text, man, just to talk about some of this reading material you got.
I would love to, man.
All right, brother.
But this is I love this show. Pascal, happy birthday once again.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
25 the third time.
Happy birthday, Pascal.
Thank you all so much. This really made me feel good. This is definitely one of the most memorable birthdays I've ever had.
Oh,
take all the flowers, Pascal.
I don't even have a drop for that.
Can I make a suggestion real quick? For the next year, Josiah's reading list, make that the TIR book club for all of 2023.
All right.
And we'll check it out together.
I could dig that. Pascal, do you have any parting words?
I want to say thank you all so much. I thank you for the TIR family. Thank you for the crew. Thank you to our fans in the audience, people that are dedicated to the chat. Thank you, Jason, Gene, M. Toussaint, Marcus, Vaughn, Aoki, Josiah for coming on, and also Torrey Reed, Paul Prescott, Paul McComb, everyone else. For those who couldn't be here, Cedric Johnson, thank you so much for really starting the ball rolling on all of this. And God willing, we're going to continue doing this and bring it up to as high of a level as possible, man. I really enjoy working with these people, and if we could actually make this something that we all can live off of, we can do this for as long as possible. God willing,
and not live in developing nations.
Hey, now I like developing nations.
Hey, Varn, you're on the list for Terrace Talks as well.
Amlo.
That's right. Pascal, I will furnish a small list of people who did not come through. You can shame them on your own time.
What is that list? Is that the fuck them niggas list?
That's right. That's the forget your birthday list.
That's the hell of a credits.
That's right.
Hey, thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. I had no idea what it was going to be like. And Toussaint, I'd have to first of all not first of all, I want to end giving you a huge shout out because you put the majority of this together. No, you put this together. Kuba, thanks for coming on from the Arctic that is where you live.
Thank you, Gene and Quinn and Sir Lucien, who was in the chat.
Margaret Kimberly as well. Can't forget Margaret.
Margaret Kimberly. That's right.
All right.
M. Tucson, I really appreciate you. You really you did a great job with this. I didn't expect this.
You are very welcome, sir. Take all the flowers.
All right. Let's get the fuck out.